it's Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Welcome back to another tutorial, and today is nothing but whimsy and magic, and I am not properly dressed for this tutorial. I kind of want to just be like, snap my fingers, do some magic, and change into a cute little princess dress, but I'm not going to. But in my mind, I'm thinking about it. But right now, we're just going to jump into the tutorial. Today's tutorial is so stinking fun. Maggie tasked me. Maggie, if you're not aware, is the other half of Oh You're Lovely. She's in North Carolina, where we ship out all of our wood flowers, craft supplies, greenery, all that good stuff. Which, if you haven't checked out the site, I'm going to do a plug right away at the beginning because I always wait till the end. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off one regular priced order of our wood flowers, greenery, craft supplies, etc., etc., etc. Back to business though, tutorial time. So Maggie gave me a project, a challenge, if you will. We are doing she is doing, I had nothing to do with it except cheer her on. She is doing this big flower wall backdrop for a local photographer to her in North Carolina. And she sent me a box of a bunch of the leftover flowers and said, make some stuff that is great for a photo shoot in terms of like little extras, little props, if you will. So, already on Facebook, we did a belly band kind of sash thing, which also could be a floral crown wreath thing. And then I made a bunch more. We do have tutorials about those here already on the channel, so I'm not doing it again. Instead, I'm gonna make something I have yet to ever make, but have wanted to for ever. Especially since I love going to Renaissance festivals now with my kiddos, but they're getting a little bit big for this. But this means I'm gonna be making myself one this summer. Anyway, I'm rambling. We're making fairy wands. Told you, I'm not dressed for this at all. I really could have went extra on the outfit, but alas, this is what you're getting. And these are gonna be stinking amazing. So what you're gonna need to make these fairy wands, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm sure there's lots of other ways. So I have some wooden dowels. I get these packs. I think I got this at Walmart at one point. There's a bunch of different pieces of wood. These are, I would say this is it looks like a ruler, maybe a little bit longer. So probably between 12 and 14 inches, maybe. I'm not gonna measure it, but that will give you an idea. And they're not super, this one's a lot thicker. This is the one I use for gluing stuff. Do you see the difference? But we're gonna make 3 of these. 3? 4. I think we're gonna make 4. Yeah, we are. We're gonna do a couple different things. And of course, I'm not just gonna not that you can't, stick a flower on a stick and call it a day. There's gonna be greenery, there's gonna be other stuff. So you're gonna need your flowers, greenery if you choose to, some ribbon. I'm also gonna be using some vinyl tape. I have a big old thing of it. Floral tape could also work. Sometimes it's a little finicky. Vinyl tape, it's really thin duct tape. So I like using that for this. And paddle wire. I am using thinner stuff. I think this is 20, what gauge is this? 26 gauge. You could probably use, I don't know if I would do 22. I feel like 22 would be too stiff. Yeah, I would do 24 or 26 gauge. Just my personal preference. I think that's everything. So let's get to it. All right, remember how I said flower wall? Yeah, so we have these giant flowers are what we're gonna be using for the most part for our lovely flower wands. We're doing these in a couple different ways. And yes, I did put wire stems onto the flowers. Not the paddle wire, but actual wire. And it's these are, 20 gauge, I think, because it's definitely not 18 gauge. Yeah, it's probably a 20 gauge. So it's a little bit more flimsy, which is fine because all I really want is I need a little bit of stability to put it up against, kind of bump it up against my wooden dowel, but then I also want to be able to tilt that so that the flower is facing forward. So then we're also going to grab, I have 2 different types of greenery I'm going to be using. We're gonna use a couple little bits and bobs of this one, and a couple little bits and bobs of this one, which is my absolute favorite. And I hope the kiddos like it, because once it's gone, it's gone. I have no more of it, and I've been using it on different projects as I found it again. Okay, and then, so we've got these 2. We're gonna do something with those. Then I was like, well, let's actually make like a bundle flower, like a bouquet. I haven't done that before. So I got these 3 from here. And then we're gonna stick some greenery in here. We'll probably stick some greenery in this one too. Oh yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, which one are we doing? Oh, I bet we're gonna do this, maybe. We'll see. I don't know which one yet. And then for the final one, I gave this little guy little legs. So I used paddle wire. And what you do with the paddle wire, smush it together so it's nice and tight. Put the glue on it like you would stemming a normal flower. Pop it in there and then spread that paddle wire across. And now you got little legs. And that's gonna wrap around this. And then it'll be just a single flower attached to the dowel, but still a little extra. Okay, so I think that's all the gist and all of the supplies needed. Let's get to making these flower wands. I almost called them crowns. They're not crowns, they're wands. Get it together, Stephanie. Okay, so I've got a piece of the greenery. We're just gonna do kind of like what we would do for, say, a boutonniere or like a tiny little bouquet. I mean, that's like the gist of it. Then what we're gonna do is normally I'd already be set up and I'd have my tape off to the side already pulled off and just kind of hanging so I can cut it. Do I this time? No, why would I be prepared? And instead I'm going to just gab to the camera. Okay, so I have this hanging off the table. That's just kind of my preferred way of starting to wrap this. Once I'm happy where these are. So the thing is, when I'm looking at this, I'm gonna be wrapping this up with tape. I'm gonna slide my greenery up just a little smidgen. And then I'm gonna start taping like right where my fingers are. And typically when I do this, I start at one end and I use it by having it on the table. I can like pull fairly taut on it until I get to a good spot and then I finish up the tape. And we're not gonna go all the way down because it's not necessary. From there, take our stick, grab our paddle wire, and I'm gonna take a little bit off already. I'm not gonna take it off my actual paddle though, at the moment. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the dowel on the back side. I think that's gonna be a personal preference. And then I'm gonna just start kind of weaving that down. And then I'm gonna crisscross the other direction as well, until I feel like it's pretty secure and it's not going anywhere. And then with that, take off the excess wire. So now our flower wand is set, but we want to cover that. So I'm gonna go with, do I wanna go with this one? Sure, why not? It's gonna take a little bit, but I'm gonna cover this up first. Cover up that little tail I've got going on. And then we're gonna go back up, covering the wood as best we can. And then what I like to do is to give it what I call like a little scarf, at least first. So I'm gonna take the loop, I'm gonna unloop that a little bit. Nice and tight. So now we have one streamer off there. We need another streamer. So then with that, I'm gonna take right at that top part, I'm gonna tie another streamer. There we go. And now we have this cute little fairy wand. All right, let's make another one. All right, so the next one, it's gonna be a little bit simpler. We're gonna do just one flower, but she's a big one. And I'm gonna put it closer to the bottom of the base where my flower is, and that's gonna kind of scoot around. And then I'm just gonna take my floral tape. I might as well. And I did hot glue the stem onto the flower like we would normally do for stemming. That's gonna be really important with these. So we don't want those bumping off. Bumping off? Popping off. Oh gosh, words, you guys. Words are hard. All right, we need a little bit more floral tape. We might as well do the other bigger flower one right away. And this time, this is still on a stem. We're not gonna need that. So I'm just gonna, voila. And we'll see if we need all three. So this greenery isn't gonna be nearly as long of a stem. I think what I'm gonna do, yep, I'm taking my wire that the flower's on and I'm wrapping that instead. Okay. So now that's what the back of that one looks like in comparison to this one. But I am going to add a little bit of that floral tape. I just feel it's a little bit easier to work with and connect with when we have it wrapped off, but it might not be necessary. Okay, let's trim that one. So the next one, this one doesn't, we're not gonna put any greenery on this one. I'm just going to grab with my little legs that I just ruined. Perfect. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let's do this again. I had glue stuck on here I was trying to pull off so that the legs stretched a little bit more. All right, 1 second. The tutorial stops for no one. So I'm gonna have Vikram over on the side, my glue gun, warming up. While that's warming up, let's get these other ones on their stems. So again, paddle wire, and this is 26 gauge. Kind of have like a little bit of a lead out. I think this time, well, I'm just debating. Okay, we'll still do it this way. I was like, we could put it to the side, but I feel like, no, we'll do it this way. Maybe. It keeps pushing itself to the side. It makes me wonder if it wants to be on the side and I should just listen to it. No, I'm just gonna listen to it. It keeps pulling to the side. So we're gonna do that. Because I have found out in life, if something says this is the way to go, like if the river is flowing a certain way, the river flows, the river knows where it needs to flow. Why are you questioning the river? Oh, that's so stinking pretty. So stinking pretty. Okay, there's the one. Let's grab the other one. And then we'll get ribbons and all the fun stuff. Gotta decide what colors and stuff we're gonna do. This one, I'm gonna put the stick in the front. So it just feels like it fits on there a little bit. I am debating as we're working on this one if I should use the thicker paddle gauge for the one single flower. This 26 gauge is really nice when it comes to like multiple wrapping and building the tension that way. But in terms of it being super sturdy on its own, not as much. And I'm worried a little bit now that I'm thinking about this, that the flower head isn't gonna stand up very nicely it might get a little droopy. So we might go with a little bit of a thicker paddle wire. Okay, so that one is done now too. All right, Vikram is back and is toasty warm. Do I do this? Do I not? Do I do this? Do I not? Oh, let's go against our better judgment. Let's try the thinner wire. I'm going back and forth. So again, I'm using 26 gauge. I am gonna make this longer than what I would normally do. We've done these little leg technique before. Okay, so we're not get hot glue on it. Jeez Louise, what is... I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine. All right, is that anybody else's mantra? All right, so we're gonna fold that and then we're gonna pinch it as close as we can. You can also get a needle nose pliers, would be super helpful in that situation, but I'm not going to. Now I'm gonna add some glue to the tip of that. Just not nearly as much as I did the first time. And we're going to insert it into the flower. We're gonna let this fully dry. And then legs are attached. We will get it wrapped around our final dowel. All right, so that is completely dry. So first thing I'm gonna do is twist this a couple of times right in that spot. And then I'm just going to twist it down at the bottom as well. Okay, there's that. We've got our, now we've got to, we're gonna wanna put that in place. I think we can wrap it with some, yeah, let's wrap it. And I think we should be good to go. This is one of my favorite ever. Another thing that Maggie gifted me at one point, and I love it so much. So I hope the kiddos enjoy it too, because it's almost gone. And this is definitely something I can't get again. All right. So I'm gonna do a little bit of this one first, and then I've got this cream ribbon that I'm gonna add too. Since this one doesn't have any greenery and the others do, we'll make this one extra in its own extra way, which is lots and lots of ribbon. So I'm gonna tie one ribbon one way and then the other ribbon the other way. You could also paint the dowels if you wanted to, color match or like green so they look like little flower like stems. That would have been smart, Stephanie. Why didn't you think of that before? Too late now. Too late now. Oh, pink I said. I'm gonna cut it off of something else I have here in the background. No, you can't. Just a little extra something. There's our cute little flower one. All right, let me show you all of them. They're so dang cute. Wow, that's my face. Flower wand number one. Actually, number 4, but 1 for now. This one I did off camera. Look how cute that is, using that same polka dotted lovely fabric. Hence the, I'm not gonna have any of that left. We got this one with her. These are a little bit of a wider ribbon. Gosh, I want a flower parade. Wouldn't that be fun? Just walking down the street with flowers and ribbons. Ah, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And then our little flower bouquet one. Oh my gosh. Do we have a favorite? I don't know that I do. Can all of them be my favorite all together? What do we think? Huh? What do we think? Are they all our favorite? Look at those. Look at those those lovely ladies. I know. Well, that's a fun craft. My gosh. Oh, I wish my kids were little again. I could have them all dancing around with little flower wands. I wanted to call them flower sticks. This is a magic wand if I've ever seen one. Bippity boppity boo! Yes, okay, so I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. These are they're heading out to North Carolina to hopefully bring some whimsy and joy to some photos that are happening soon. Again, we did do a tutorial on how to do both a flower crown, but by using a ribbon, you can also use it to go across, especially for those lovely mamas who are expecting. Pop it on there, add some little flowers to get a little baby bump. So those are all options, or those are other tutorials that we have. Processing, the words aren't all coming together in the order they're supposed to. I have those tutorials over here on YouTube too. So if you'd like to see those, if I remember to link it, which I normally don't, it'll be in the description. If I do, I get a gold star. If I don't, just leave it in the comments. And then you can give me a gold star for responding back and getting you the link for the tutorial. It's there. It's got a picture of my youngest, who no longer is so tiny, in a rainbow flower crown. So, alrighty. That's it for today. I'm like dying. It's so warm in this studio and we're supposed to get bad weather. So fingers crossed for Stephanie here in Wisconsin. Hopefully I will see you next week with no news of damage to report. I've got a beautiful big huge tree that I'm really nervous about. So fingers and toes crossed. She needs to hold it together during this storm. All right, you guys, I will see you next week for another tutorial. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're loving these flowers, want to give them a try, I have a little something for you. You can use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off one regular priced order. Also, if you're liking this channel, can't get enough of me chit-chatting while we craft, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified every time a new video goes up, which is typically once a week. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Probably in a cuter outfit. That's the goal. With some other sort of cute project. I don't know what yet, but I'm excited for us both to find out next week. All right, bye.